with this topic, I found some really great truths in the Bible that have helped me so much to become more free and to love people better. I want to share those truths with you, but first, I want to share a little bit of my story because when I was starting, I didn't know these things. I want to let you know where I came from so you can kind of understand where I'm at now. As time went on in my life, I had something really painful happen to me where a friend no longer wanted to be my friend, and we were really close friends. And I think that pain somehow, starts my relationship with God a little bit as well. So I wasn't receiving what I needed, and that allowed the tempter's voice to have more of a pull on my life. And I believe that that's what started the journey back to this struggle that I was free from more than a year. And I encourage you, if something bad happens to you, keep talking to God, be very open, and find healing as fast as you can. Otherwise, I think in the place of brokenness, there's lots of chances for other things to pull you. And I don't want you to go down the same path I went down, which is why I'm sharing this second. There's a testimony in this as well, which is why I'm sharing this story. Basically, I fell back into this temptation, and I was giving in to my own desires that were happening and that were pulling me away from God a little bit. And the struggle started over again. Not the full struggle right away, mostly just with myself in my mind, not actually looking at a screen yet, but that's where it started. And it pulled me away, and I felt really, really bad every single time. This guilt in our mind doesn't help us connect with God. We're supposed to go with God with boldness and confidence before His throne so we can receive grace in our time of need. But if we're feeling guilty, how can we go to Him? So I was feeling so guilty, I wasn't able to go to God as much as I had been before. I wasn't able to receive. I wasn't feeling peaceful. I was feeling more, down. And I think pornography and those lustful thoughts in my mind really make me feel more blank and more emotionless and less connected to people and less like wanting to connect to people because I felt like I don't have anything to offer. So in that place of struggling, I had this really interesting time where I had a friend who didn't even know it. He didn't know I was struggling, but every single time right after I was done struggling and I failed, my friend would text me. He would send me some Bible verse or something he thought God was saying to me. He didn't know that I had just struggled, but it happened at least 6 to 10 times where he would send me messages, and it would be something really encouraging where even in my struggle, I knew God was seeking me. I knew God wanted me, and He wants you too. He doesn't want you to struggle alone, and He can send people to help. It didn't always happen, but that really helped me know that God was still seeking me and still wanting me. There's a Bible verse that really helps me with this too, because maybe we think in our minds, I struggle with this so much. How could God keep forgiving me? I know if someone else kept doing something and then they said to me, I won't do it again, but they kept doing it, it'd be really hard to trust that person. But it says that love always trusts, and God is love. So this is a key point. Jesus tells His disciples, because Peter asked Him, and I will share these verses later and talk a little bit more about them. Peter asked Him, if someone sins against me, how many times should I forgive him? And Jesus says, not 7 times, but 77 times. Basically He's saying, if your brother keeps repenting and keeps asking for forgiveness, you keep giving it. He tells people to do that. So how much more will our God continue to forgive us and continue to build us back up in our place of depravity? Because He wants us to flourish. He wants to renew us back to the image of God, which He originally created. Every single person has that same value to God. And that's why he died on the cross, because he saw he knew the value of which he created us and wanted to redeem us back from the original sin that destroyed us and stopped our connection with God. So Jesus brought back connection. I was recently watching some videos on Fight the New Drug. It's a website that informs people about the negative harms of pornography. And there was a quote that I really like. It talks about how addiction is the opposite of connection. And I believe that's really true. In our connection with God, we find fullness, we find satisfaction, where we won't even need anything else. We will be able to love because we have love. We will be able to forgive because we have been forgiven. And I believe this is the place we're called to. People might try to stop addictions just by stopping, but they don't realize they have to fill something that's drawing them there in the first place. So it's not just stopping pornography and just trying to stop. It's about filling our lives with good things, about filling our lives with God and relationship with Him. And I believe that connection is the key thing that will set us free.